Now that I've decided on the counterargument I want to include in my essay and how I'm going to respond, where should I place the counterargument? This is a very common question, and unfortunately, the answer is, it depends. There isn't one right way of incorporating your counterargument, so you will have to think critically about where it fits best. Here are some tips. Consider your readers. Place the counterargument as close as possible to the idea it counters. Quite simply, you want to bring up the counterargument wherever you want your reader to be thinking about it. You are already planning to respond to the argument you disagree with by explaining your own view, so it doesn't make sense for the counter to be at the end of your paper if you talk about the related specific idea in the middle of your essay. Consider the introduction. Counterarguments can work great in the introduction. This move allows you to set up your whole essay as a response to the counter perspective, and it works especially well if your essay busts a common myth or misperception. If you think your readers are likely to disagree with your thesis, meet them where they are and address it head-on. The downside to this option is that you usually have a lot of ground to cover in the intro, so your representation of the counterargument and subsequent pivot to your view have to be really tight. Use your thesis as a roadmap. Often our thesis statements are responding to others' views, and you've built a concession or counterargument into your thesis. You might use a format like, although, your concession, comma, then your view. In this case, as your reader, I would expect you to address that counterargument right away, because your thesis has already set up that logical pattern of ideas in my mind. Consider giving the counterargument its own body paragraph. This choice allows you to really show that you understand and respect the counter, because it gives you the most space to explain the dissenting view, maybe bring in a quote, explore some of the reasons behind the argument or the nuances within the opposition. Not all naysayers think alike. The tricky part of this choice is that you still have to integrate the counterargument paragraph into your essay as a whole. Use some of the strategies, words, and phrases in this module to help you do that effectively. Lastly, consider pairing your counterargument with the rebuttal in one paragraph. This move might be the best choice if you want to acknowledge the counter, but you don't have that much to say about it. Maybe you know this is a common objection to your argument, but you don't have any textual evidence or specific support to share with your reader. In this case, it is probably best to mention the opposing view in your paragraph, but still focus on your own side. The downside with this option is that the counterargument sometimes gets lost if it seems buried in the paragraph. Like all options, you have to think carefully about how you will help your reader pivot between positions. Wherever you choose to place the counterargument, just do it thoughtfully. Think critically about your reader's experience and put the counter where it makes the most sense. If you need help with this, meet with an English Lab tutor. An outside reader will be able to offer a fresh perspective on how well your counterarguments fit within the essay as a whole.